And then back in 2018, I attended a funeral of one of my friends who was found dead with less than 9 months to live in the military. And that sort of hit me hard. That I walked away from this funeral, thinking more needs to be done. I started looking at all the homeless veterans, over 7,000 homeless veterans who live on the UK streets. Maybe 10% of your prison population, are on probation service, we're in custody. All the unemployed veterans, struggling to find employment. And I just started looking at it more and doing the online research, and I thought, you know what, I've been there, I've been there and I've been rock bottom, I want to do more.
Amos, Madra.
Darren Wright, you've been a busy man. You've been all over telly yesterday. Every channel I'm flicking on, you there, and seeing you doing the fantastic work that you've been doing, supporting veterans coming out of the military into Civic Street, through veterans into logistics. You featured on We Are England, and what a great documentary that was as well. Tell us about yourself. Tell us your story. Before we go into some of the stories that we saw in the programme.
Well, I'm a Manchester lad, proud Manchester kid, City fan as well. But yeah, I'm from North Manchester, born in Crumpsall, grew up in Langway, joined the military, come from a broken home. My mum and dad split when I was a kid. I left school with no qualifications, left school at 15. Didn't really like school, to tell you the truth. I joined the military, became a gunner para, served in Afghanistan. I come out as an early service leave after 5 years. When I come out, I struggled with the transition. I was in a bad way. I was I ended up taking drink, drugs just to get me through the night. I was in a really bad way. I missed the military. I missed the support network that I had when I was in the military. And I really struggled. I didn't want to be around. I was in a bad way, mate.
Yeah. And, from someone who was in a really dark place, who didn't have any direction, no goals, it seemed that, things were going backwards. How did you pick yourself up and discover yourself?
Well, look, coming from Manchester, it's not hard to get, I soon got sucked into criminality, survival, and I received a custodial sentence. I do regret the crime, that I committed, but it was being in custody that actually saved my life, because I got the treatment that I needed. And that saved my life. I wouldn't be talking to you now, but I didn't end up in prison. Coming out of prison, I came out like it was the new me. It was me of old. I was looking forward to life. I remember bouncing out, and I was skipping out when I come out of prison, looking forward to the new chapter of life. I got a job as a HGV driver. I worked my way up to being a fuel tanker driver. I was on £50,000 a year, 4 on, 4 off. So I know I was earning good money. And when you think I was on 50 grand a year, I was on the same wages as a head teacher. For a kid who had no qualifications, I was on good money.
As a doctor.
Yeah. My daughter used to say to me, Dad, I can't believe the wages that you're on. I was on short of just £300 a day. And then back in 2018, I attended a funeral of one of my friends who was found dead with less than 9 months to live in the military. And that sort of hit me hard. That I walked away from this funeral, thinking more needs to be done. I started looking at all the homeless veterans, over 7,000 homeless veterans who live on the UK streets. Maybe 10% of your prison population, are on probation service, we're in custody. All the unemployed veterans, struggling to find employment. And I just started looking at it more and doing the online research, and I thought, you know what, I've been there, I've been there and I've been rock bottom, I want to do more. I feel like I had a purpose to give. I wanted to share my experience and help people who were in similar positions, who were feeling rock bottom. I sort of help them, to come on, we can get you there. Just a bit of retraining. We'll give you a skill. All right, you might not have any qualifications, or you might have a trade that supports you, that you learn in the military, that will support you into Civic Street. But we can give you a skill if you haven't got your HGV license, and we can get you earning a decent living. And that's where the idea came from, and that's what gave me the purpose to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's shocking when you think about those statistics. So many veterans coming out of the military and that support not being there for them. And again, in the worst case scenario, like your friend who's sadly found dead, that's as bad as it gets. And obviously that was a point when you realise something needs to be done. And there are charities out there who do support, but then these are individuals who are given their free time. So there isn't any such established, public charity perhaps that's not helping as much. I don't know. Maybe that's something that we could look into a bit more. But the point I'm trying to make is there isn't many charities that I've seen or heard of that actually support veterans into the labour market to, put money in their pocket, to get them back on their feet and to get them out there. So I think it's fantastic what you do. Now, let's go back to the point when you'd come out of prison, you knew that something was going to be different. You got that job, you're earning 50 grand a year. Was there a point where you knew there's no going back? It's only one way forward now. Did you have that realization?
100%. The thing is, prison's it's not easy. It's hard. You're locked up. You don't know, you're in a cell. Do you know what I mean? I knew I wasn't going back. I come out and I wanted to be a father to my children again. They lost me as a dad. When I come out of the military because I wasn't the person. I wasn't me. Do you know what I mean? So they lost. Not only did they lose a dad, when I come out of the military, they also lost a dad when I was in prison. Do you know what I mean? And I knew when I come out I wasn't going back. I want to be a dad to my kids, the best way that I can. And I had a lot of, making up to do. And I have, and that's what I'm working every day, even still now. To be the best dad that I can to my kids.
So having that reason really helps as well to give you something to wake up for every day.
100%. And I look at the mission that I'm on. So I class it as a mission. That's what I'm doing. I look at this as prevention for other veterans, other service leavers. If I can prevent them from going to prison, if I can prevent them from becoming homeless, so I can prevent them from becoming on the streets. And when you're going about charities, the reason why we're different, we give people a fishing rod, not a fish. Do you know what I mean? And you get a lot of charities, they collect a lot of money off the public, right? And when you go and try and get no support of them, it can take 12 weeks to get a decision. In that 12 weeks, right, if you're at rock bottom, each day feels like a month or a week. Each week feels like a month. Each month feels like a year. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, you know what? I need to, we start from day one. We give people hope straight away. We book them in medical. We put 30 tests. We show them that there's hope, because hope is a big thing when you're at rock bottom and believing. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we do. And I see some of the things that go on. It's opened my eyes a lot to what I've seen, what goes on. Where the government fund all these people. People who are rock bottom.
Yeah.
They sent the DWP might send someone on a money management course, but then they've got someone who's got a job teaching them how to budget the money. Why don't they get someone who's got no money to teach them what it's like?
Yeah.
People don't realise when you've got no money, you don't pay a bill until you get that red letter. You know what I mean? Exactly. You don't even open the mail. You know what I mean? But we look at that as we can support people, we can change their lives, we get them into secure employment where money, helps them live a normal life, lets them go on a holiday, lets them contribute to society where they're paying taxes. And one thing when I went out, once I got a job when I was earning decent money, the system's set up to help you. Loans, mortgages, living a normal life. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. So even people who they feel like they lack confidence, they lack self-belief, they think they can't do it. Yes, they can. Because if I can do it, and I left school with no qualifications, they can do it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether they're dyslexic. And I always say this, man, have you ever been abroad where you're driving abroad and you're driving in another country but you can't understand the language? You can still drive that vehicle, can't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I say to people, listen, I'll teach you. When you look at the roads, most of it's all markings. Do You know, it's signs. I'll teach you, I'll get you there, and we'll get you through it, and we'll get you in a decent way so you can have a normal life.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, you've answered the next question I was going to ask you, because you know they are those dark days where you know it seems that things are just stagnant. It's not moving forward. It's not, you know, happening the way you want it to happen, and it's trying to have hope. And as you said, you know, you're giving people a fishing rod, but not just a fish. And I think that is a huge statement, and it's so helpful to know that, you know, someone's out there to help somebody in a time where you feel like things are just not moving forward. In your own life, did you have a time where you felt it just was really stagnant and it just wasn't moving fast enough to the point where you wanted to get to?
Well, when I come out of the military, no, I was lost in society. No, I didn't care. No, I didn't want to live. You know, I was drinking, taking up. I was in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? I had no support. I had no one to reach out to. You know what I mean? I'm lucky. I class myself fortunate to be alive. There's a lot of people who are not. Do you know what I mean? And I look at no prison saved my life. So where a lot of people regret going to prison, they regret the crime, but it actually saved my life. I got the treatment that I needed, and it put me on the road to recover to who I am now. So I just look at it like this. I'm fortunate to be alive, but I want to use my experiences now to help other people, to give them a leg up and give them the guidance that they need, and give them the self-belief. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's our mission, and that's what we're doing.
And what better calling than that, you know, to give back to people, to serve. You know, you're still serving, aren't you? So, you know, you are serving and you are giving back, giving hope for people as well. Some great stories in the documentary on BBC on We Are England, where there were two chaps. It was Dan and was it Sean? Was it?
Yeah.
You know, complete, you know, metamorphosis in their lives, complete turnaround. Dan had, you know, been hit with one issue after another. It was just a lot of things going on in his own life. You know, enough for someone to just want to just give up on everything. But, you know, he managed to get through. And then Sean as well, what you did for him, helping him in, was it 21 days?
21 days. So the government will come out a program which meant to be a national shortage of HGV drivers. So I got in touch with the government last year. I said, we can do this quicker. So they brought out a 16-week program, right? And I'm like, I look at it and I go, you're not targeting the right audience. Do you know what I mean? Because if someone's not going to go in and sit in a classroom, you know, they're not going to go and do 16 weeks. The majority sat in a classroom, you know, like to become a HGV driver. But you think of them people who are losing out, or any veterans who are losing out because they won't sit in a classroom, you know, they're not going to do it. So we're going, listen, that's just teaching the skill. I've just demonstrated in 21 days, I took someone who's been unemployed. In 21 days, I got my HCV license, starting on 36 grand a year. How simple is that? I'm not here to make money. I'm here to change people's lives. You know, all these other organisations who milk the system, you know, of no getting money, no from the government, no in these programs. That's all they are. They're just there to make money, which I respect that. But we're here to change lives and get people into jobs.
And that's the key thing about what you do. It's a non-profit organisation. You are changing lives, but you know you're not really making anything. How do you survive on that? You know, what happens? Is it through donations or do you get government support?
We work with different, so we get a lot of private investment now that I want to get involved with, so big private companies. And we're just like working our way along. We do work with different organisations, but it's mainly we're getting private investment. We will get government support. We've been a bit more like forthcoming, but I think after that show that went out last night and we showed how it can be done, I think we're knocking on their door where we've got no alternatives to help us change people. No, people who serve their country. You know, let's change their lives and get them into sustainable employment. Let's stop them from becoming, you know, homeless. Let's stop them from ending up in prison. And more importantly, let's stop them from like taking their own life. When you think, right, so you look at like employment. When I was doing my research, 1 in 5 people around the world take their own life through no lack of employment. That's no like 1 in 5 people.
Yeah.
How many veterans might be still alive? You know. So I look at it like that. And another thing as well, most of the lads that you see who are homeless and no ex-military, the council estate kids, the kids who joined the military with no support, not before they joined, and then obviously when they come out, it's not worked out for them. They come out, still got no support. You don't expect to see an officer who went to Sandhurst, who got brought up with a good upbringing. You don't expect to see them when you walk down and you see a homeless veteran. It's always a council estate kid who didn't get no support growing up, or hasn't got that support now, or can't get a job when he gets out, struggles. Do you know what I mean? Whereas we look at it like this, let's look at an alternative way. Let's give him a new skill. Why should a veteran be sleeping on the streets when he could be sleeping in a truck and getting paid? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Again, I can't, shout enough in terms of the good work that you're doing. You're changing people's lives. You're still serving in a different capacity, but you're still helping people. And again, thank you so much for the great work that you're doing. How can people find out more about what you do in terms of your logistics?
Go online, Veterans Into Logistics. We've got a website, fill in our referral form. We've got a phone number, which is 0330 111 9320. The 9320 is the 9320 after when Aguero scored the goal against QPR. So proud man, if you're in proud Manchester City fan, we've got the 9320 in there.
Very specific, I like it. And of course, for anyone who missed the documentary, we can always catch it on BBC iPlayer. But wow, Darren, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you for the great work that you're doing, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavours. If you want some amazing inspiration, check out the videos next to me, and I'll see you right there.